Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians are blowing up their own bridges, the bridges that were built by their ancestors, probably. And they tried to prevent the Russians, obviously, for being able to conduct their attacks and offensives. And that's the art of war. You can, you have to use whatever you have to use. And the more desperate you get because you're losing, your actions will show that. So when you didn't have certain bridges blown up, but now you have them blown up, it's not only a decision that, today is Sunday, so I think we're going to blow up some bridges over the Dnipro River. No, that means you are in bad shape over there. So you have to prevent the Russians to do what they're doing best, which in this case, advance. And I'm not how should I putting I'm not defending the Russians, or I'm not trying to find the Ukrainians any escape routes for this kind of actions. It is war, and whatever they feel fit they will use, and they know best, not me from outside. There are implications though there are implications that are not related to a military operation, which is, if you destroy those bridges, that means not only Russian ammunition and supplies for the Russian military, that surprisingly it's on the west bank of the Dnipro River, so they crossed it already. It's not only that that you just temper with that for about 2 days after they will also, obviously build some pontoon bridges, which is going to avoid your little attacks. But you should do that. It's not like I'm saying not do it, but also you're going to infringe the possibility of bringing medical supply for the territories that are right now under the Russian occupation. So you do that, there will be medication not coming over there, and other supplies that the city will need coming from the east side of the situation, in this case from the across the bridge, which is blown up. So you think, yes, I stopped the Russians from bringing military personnel, but I also prevented the civilians that are under the occupation to receive whatever they need. So you are accomplice in this kind of war crimes that now you try to, in humanitarian disaster, that you try to just drop on the Russian side. It's not only the Russians. Remember, the key word is only. It's not only the Russians, it's you too. And it's not that band, it's the U-2 or the airplane. It's you too are involved in this, because you blew them. Yeah, but the Russian invaded. Why did the Russian invade it? Oh, the Minsk protocols. Oh, the 2014 overthrow of a legitimate government. Oh, so you see, you are in it. You, meaning the handlers, not the Ukrainian population, not the Ukrainian military, because they just follow orders given by other people that not necessarily are Ukrainians. And not necessarily, we know they're not Ukrainians. The orders are not necessarily coming from Kiev. The orders are coming from far away, further a little bit than that. So we have this article from Ukrinform, and it says that Ukrainian troops destroy bridges across the Dnipro River, cutting off Russian supplies in Kherson region. Okay, that's Russian supplies, and on top of that is more supplies that those bridges were allowing. The armed forces of Ukraine destroyed the ground routes which, if not restored, will prevent the Russian Federation from supporting its troops with fuel, ammunition, and heavy equipment, in particular in Kherson region. Okay, bravo, good job. What else? What about, did you think about your civilians, your Ukrainians trapped over there? Obviously not. So what does that mean? So I'm quoting, Russian forces cannot support mechanized operation at scale without a reliable GLOC. Bringing ammunition, fuel, and heavy equipment sufficient for offensive or even large-scale defensive operations across pontoon ferries or by air is impractical, if not impossible. All right, so it's even worse. So you say that, so it says that operations across pontoons, ferries, or by air, it's impractical, if not impossible. Okay, so you destroyed the whole possibility for your civilians that are over there, still are, Ukrainians supposedly, and Russians and others, without any maybe food, maybe medication. That's fine, but you just focus on the Russians right now, on their capability. It is noted that if Ukraine forces have disrupted all 3 bridges and can prevent the Russians from restoring, so all 3 bridges were done. So anything that Ukrainians or and the Russians were receiving from the east side, it's done, 0. So it is noted that if Ukrainian forces have disrupted all 3 bridges and can prevent the Russians from restoring any of them to usability for a protracted period, then Russian forces on the west bank of the Dnipro will likely lose the ability to defend themselves. Alright, if you focus only on the military, that's true. Good job, but it's more than that. So, it is noted that if Ukrainian forces have destroyed all 3 bridges and can prevent the Russians from restoring any of them to usability for protracted period, then Russian forces of the west bank of the Dnipro will likely have lose the ability to defend themselves against even limited Ukrainian counterattacks. So yeah, that's true, that's good, but again, you have civilians over there. Ukrainian forces struck the bridge on the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant dam again on August 13, reportedly rendering the bridge unusable by heavy vehicles, the report says. Just to report to you, I made an article, on a video on this article, and the Kakhovka bridge is the one right on top of the dam, the Dnipro River dam. So when they hit it, if that dam cracked or something, then a crime against humanity would have occurred, because the dam would break, everything would go down, and the population will be killed, obviously south of it. But it's okay, it's they don't mention that. But and they bombard the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant again. Oh, that's Russian shooting from there. Maybe they are, but you're shooting at it. It's the same thing as, okay, the Russians are trying to kill, to destroy the Ukrainian army. But if the Ukrainian army positioned as it did, and it does, within the city limits, around the residential areas, who exposes who? So here, shoot at Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, they're going to shoot at you. Or even if the Russians, like weasels, are using it to cover their shots towards other towns, that's obviously it's a weasel move. But you have weasel move. You've been using this weasel move, Ukraine, since the beginning of the operation, invasion, however you want to call it. So keep your mouth a little bit smaller, when you say these kind of things, because you're responsible of the same action. So here, they destroyed all 3 bridges. Congratulations, that's good, that's fine. You can't beat them in face-to-face. You're going to try this, and the collateral damage will occur, ensure right there. And which is your people that you're stating that you want to defend from the invaders. All right, well, you're going to use this argument in order to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. Okay then. Or what? The aims justify the means. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.